Hey everyone, and welcome to the video. I'm Wilson Woodyard, a music composer and mixing engineer, and today I'm going to show you everything you need to know to start recording your own vocals in Logic Pro. I'm going to cover all of the physical equipment you'll need, how to plug it all in, and then how to get it routed, set up, and recorded in Logic Pro. This video is going to be perfect for anyone who uses Logic Pro to record their own music or wants to get into recording their own music, or someone who maybe knows one part of the process or has some equipment but is kind of blurry or confused on some of the other areas. The idea of this video is to put it all in one place and just deliver very concise, here's how to do it information. So if that sounds helpful to you, please make sure you like and subscribe, and I'm going to get started. Before you start recording your own vocals, you need to make sure you have all the correct equipment. So you're going to need a microphone. I have the Shure SM7B. You don't have to use this one. There's tons of great vocal mics out there. You're also going to need an audio interface. I'm using the SSL12 audio interface, but you can use a Focusrite or whatever you happen to have, as long as it is an audio interface that will connect to your computer. You'll also need an XLR cable to connect your microphone to your audio interface. You're also going to need a pair of headphones. I'm using the Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro. You just need to make sure whatever this end is, that it can plug into your interface so that you can hear yourself when you're singing or talking or podcasting, whatever you're doing. You'll also need whatever cable came with your audio interface to connect it physically to your computer. And then an optional but maybe bonus point is a pop filter. This will help with the plosives, the B's and P's and that kind of sound. It's going to help keep that out of your recording. And finally, you'll need a mic stand, unless you want to hold your mic the whole time. That's up to you. I don't want to tell you how to live your life. To get it all set up, the very first thing you're going to do is connect your audio interface to your computer. So for mine, it's a USB-C that connects in. So I'll go ahead and do that now and make sure that it's on. You'll also want to put your mic on the mic stand if you have chosen to go that route. So I'll go ahead and put this on. Finally, you're going to want to route your XLR cable from your microphone into one of the XLR inputs of your audio interface. So I will do that now. I'm choosing input 1 on my interface, but you can use whatever you'd like. So that is a quick physical setup. If you've followed along properly, you should have your mic plugged into the XLR cable. This is running to your audio interface, and then your audio interface is plugged in via USB or Thunderbolt or whatever to your computer. So that way you've got your analog signal going into your interface, getting converted to digital, going into the computer. All that to say, now you should be able to open up Logic. It's going to do its thing. It's going to scan all the plugins right now because now is a good time to do it when you're trying to do a video. So you're going to want to open up Logic Pro, go up here to File and hit New. And then if it prompts you to create a new track, you're going to want to hit Audio and then Mic or Line. And go ahead and do that. And now we need to configure our audio device within Logic Pro. So if you go up here to Settings, Audio, and then right here, Input and Output Device. This is telling Logic where to send and receive sound, basically. So we want to make sure we have our audio interface that we're using selected. So I've got it right here, SSL12, and make sure it says input and output on SSL12, unless you're doing something weird and need to go in multiple places. For I/O buffer size, you want to make sure this is set a little bit lower, just so that there's no latency when you're singing. If it's up here around 512 or 1024, you might get some delay from when you sing to when you hear it back. So I'd recommend somewhere like 64 or 128. You just want to make sure you don't hear latency and you're not stressing out your computer and overloading it. So once you have all that, if you've made a change, you need to hit Apply, and then you can exit out of there. And then the last thing you need to do, if you don't see this side panel, go ahead and hit I and go down here. This selects the input for that channel. So this channel we created right here, we'll call it Vocal. So you can see down here, Vocal, and we want to change this input to whatever input we plugged into our interface. So I used input 1, so I'm going to use input 1 right here. And now this channel is receiving sound from input 1. So before we hit record, we need to make sure the track is armed, input monitoring is turned on if we want it, and then we need to make sure we have a proper level from our microphone. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here and click the R. So this tells Logic that that channel is going to record soon. It's ready to record. We're going to hit the I. This is going to let us hear what's happening going back out to our interface and our headphones. I have a whole in-depth video on input monitoring, so I'll link that down below if you're having issues in that area. It's a whole nother topic. This is just the most basic way to get recordings. So then head over to your microphone, start talking or singing or whatever you're going to do, and you want the input from your microphone to be between -12 and -18. So I'll highlight that on the screen so you see kind of where we're aiming for. This is kind of a little too low. Maybe when I get a little louder, it'll get into the range, but otherwise too low. So we're going to turn it up a little more. Check, check. Hey, check, check. So this is what I'd say a very good range for where I like to record my vocals. This puts us kind of right where we need to go. And when I get a little bit louder, it pops into range. I might add a little more actually. Check, check, check. And so it's important to note when you're doing this, make sure to check your audio level before you add plugins, before you start messing with the fader and the volume, because it's important to get the right level going in before you even add compression and EQ and all those other things. You just want a nice clean recording on the way in. Now is also a good time to test out your pop filter if you haven't set that up already. So the SM7 is a little different because it has a built-in pop filter on it, but you can always add your pop filter if you have a mic that needs it. So if you're using a large diaphragm condenser that does not have its own pop filter, you might want to put on a pop filter now. And so you'll basically want to just set up your pop filter a little bit in front of the mic, leave a little bit of space, and then that's going to help protect your audio from those plosives and the powerful P's and pops. I won't use it for this example because my mic already has one built in. Let's get that off. So now if you followed along thus far, everything should be set up how you want. You've got everything plugged in, headphones in, you've got a proper level in Logic, and go ahead and hit record. And now you can talk, record, do whatever you were going to do in Logic, record your whole podcast, sing your favorite song, whatever you want to do. You're getting good levels, a clean audio, and that's that. Once you are finished recording, you can go ahead and hit spacebar or stop, and then come back over to Logic. I usually like to hit this right here to make my waveforms a little bit bigger. And now we can double check and see how we like it. So when I'm done recording, I turn off both of these, record arm and input monitoring, and go ahead and hit play. And now you can talk, record, do whatever you were going to do in Logic, record your whole podcast, sing your favorite song, whatever you want to do. You're getting good levels, a clean audio, and that's that. Once you are finished recording, you can go ahead and hit spacebar or stop. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that video was helpful to you. If you still have questions or things you're struggling with, feel free to let me know down in the comments and I'll do my best to answer and help out there. If you'd like to support the channel, please make sure you like and subscribe and consider sharing this with a friend who might also benefit from this video. If you'd like more help in a personalized one-on-one setting, that's a coaching service that I offer, and I have all that information down in the description. It'll let you book a one-on-one call with me via Zoom, and we can talk through whatever you need help with, from mixing, mastering, Logic Pro, recording, home studio setup, anything like that. I'd love to help. Thanks again for watching this video, and if you'd like to keep learning, I'll have a video popping up right over here.